go. Ringo TV Reactions. We back in the building. Let's get down to it, fam. Let's start to cook. So, we're talking about the situation with the woman that was gunned down by the ICE agents. A lot of people are having selective outrage. There seems to be a lot of controversy around the shooting. People are busy complaining, saying that it's not right. Let's cut to the chase. Let's get down to business. Number one, this woman was interfering in an investigation. These are the type of things that people don't talk about because a lot of people they hate Trump, they hate ICE. Everything is a problem. And a lot of times, a lot of this stuff is political and people, they don't realize what's going on. So what happens is they get involved and they start using their emotions to judge the situation, and they're not paying attention to what's really going on. This woman was using her vehicle to block the ICE agents from doing their job, from doing their investigation. And based on what's going on, she was doing this thing for a while, literally harassing these agents on some old protest thing against ICE. And you had other people that were in on this thing too. They were pretty much telling her, like, leave, get out of the way. She ain't want to do that. She just wanted to just be a Karen. And for whatever reason, she decides to put the car in drive once the agents got fed up and was like, look, get out the car. Now she want to get out of the way now. Now she want to leave. But in her process of doing that, she was throwing out verbals, and an agent was in front of the vehicle. She put the car in drive and decided to go off, putting the officer, the agent, in danger. He, used his firearm to put an end to the threat. And yet people are having selective outrage saying this is wrong, this is not right. You have elected officials basically saying that they're upset with ICE, we don't need them. And the only reason why they're doing that is because this appears to be a white woman who was gunned down, not a black man. Now, let's flip the scale here. If this was a black man and he was doing this and ICE agents told him, step out the vehicle, he proceeded to put the car in drive and drive off with an officer in front of the vehicle. If he would have been unalived, no one would have said, oh, this is wrong, I can't believe this. We would have been preaching the sermon of, well, you should have followed the rules, you should have complied, it's unfortunate, but, you asked for it, because you put the car in drive, you drove into the officer. That's typically what we would have heard if it was a black man. But being that it was a white woman, it's a little different now. You get what I'm saying? Because when I was growing up as a teenager, even in my early adult age, I've always heard people say that as a black man, if you get pulled over by law enforcement, if you have any issues, number one, don't reach for nothing. Hands on the steering wheel, put the car in park, take the keys out, put them on the dashboard, and just relax and wait for, find out what's going on. That's what we heard. And also, carry yourself in a respectful manner. Don't get all agitated, start cussing officers out and doing goofy stuff, because all that's going to do is escalate a situation a different way. And, you don't want that to happen. So I'm trying to figure out, if we were told that as black men, in other words, how to survive being stopped by law enforcement, why this don't apply to white folk when they get stopped? Why is it that when white folk get stopped or they have an encounter with any sort of law enforcement, agents, ICE, whatever the case is, the rules don't apply? For them, they could drive in front of officers, they can cuss them out, they can say whatever they want, especially if you're a woman. You can definitely get away with this. But if you're black, you can't do that. See, what I'm seeing here is selective outrage. I understand a lot of you are Trump haters. You're going to blame Trump for this, obviously, because this is what you normally do. But but you're not looking at this thing from a fair and a balanced approach. If if I'm an ICE agent and we're giving you lawful commands to step out of that car because of what you're doing, you're impeding an investigation. You're literally in the way. At this point, we don't know who you are. So we're telling you to get out this damn vehicle. And instead, you use your vehicle to try to run over one of my agents. He have every right to pull out his gun and pretty much use deadly force at that point. Your car can do a lot of pain to a physical body. Do you understand that? So I don't understand why is it that everybody's being emotional over the situation. That woman put herself in harm's way. I don't care what nobody say. That woman literally ended her own life because she thought that because she's white, somehow nothing can happen to her. In other words, if it's a black guy, a black woman, yeah, they'll get unalive. But hey, I'm white, so I can say what I want. I could do what I want. The rules don't apply to me. Well, she found out. She effed around and she found out. Unfortunate, it is what it is, but I'm not going to sit here feeling sorry. I cannot feel sorry for people that do stupid stuff, guys. I can't do that. I cannot do that, especially when I know if it was me and I got unalive for doing that, y'all would not be outraged. Y'all would be saying why I didn't comply, why I was acting a fool, why. Y'all would not give me a pass. The mayors, the governors, the elected officials, none of them would say, we want the officer who unalived Ringo to leave the state. We don't need those agents. None of y'all would be saying that. Y'all would be saying, I'm wrong for driving my vehicle into this agent. That's what y'all would say. So why y'all don't keep that same energy for this situation? Why? The answer is because the woman is white. Not only because the woman is white, you're just looking for an opportunity to lash out against ICE because you hate Trump. That's what this is really all about, man. You know good and well that what that woman did was out of pocket because people are saying, oh, not compliant is not a death wish for somebody. It's not about if she's not compliant. The point is she used her vehicle as a weapon. Once they told her to step out the vehicle, whatever the case is, if your rights are being violated, if you feel you're in the right and they're in the wrong, let things go. People are filming it. It's on camera. Deal with those issues in court. But no, she wanted to use her vehicle to flee, knowing that an officer is in front of the car. How many times have we seen this thing happen? Y'all remember the situation with I believe it was a black woman. I believe it was a black woman who, I think she was shoplifting at a Walmart or somewhere around them. I forgot exactly what it was. She got into her car. She proceeded to drive the car. An officer jumped on top of the hood and she's driving with the officer on top of the hood. What did the officer do? Filled her up with lead. Did what he had to do. I don't care, fam. At the end of the day, people do stupid things. They win stupid prizes. But we should not be on social media siding with someone who's clearly in the wrong. You cannot use your vehicle in any capacity. If your vehicle is moving and an officer, an agent, or anybody is in front of your vehicle, you are signing up for a death sentence, bro. There's no other ways around it, man. You are signing up for a death wish. Are you crazy? Is everybody crazy? So we're going to act like we don't have no common sense no more? An agent is in front of you. He have a gun. Your vehicle is a weapon. It's in motion. You're not stopping. So at that point, that agent fears for his life. And if you know the rules, he's justified to use deadly force. There's nothing you can do about it. Just because she a woman doesn't mean we're going to give her a pass. Heck, we're not giving nobody no pass. If I'm the ICE agent and your vehicle is moving in front of me, I'm putting you down. I don't care who you are. You could be 90 years old, grandma. Doesn't matter who you are. I'm putting you down because at that moment, I got to think about me going back home to my family. You trying to take me out. You know? All she had to do is get out the vehicle, follow all orders. She would have been on her way. That's all she had to do. But she was already anti-ICE. She was already someone who's protesting. And listen, it's neither here nor there when it comes to your position on whether you're an ICE protest person or whatever the case is. The point is, stop doing stupid stuff. Let's stop celebrating and encouraging stupidity. You understand? The woman was in the wrong. Stop all the BS. If it was a black man, Nobody would be protesting. Nobody won't be saying anything. Instead, people will be talking a bunch of garbage about how that man did what he did and he deserved it. That's what y'all would be saying. Y'all would be saying he did what he did, he got what he got. That's what y'all would be saying if he was black. Y'all know it's the truth. Because black men always been told, when you're involved in a traffic stop, any sort of law enforcement, hands on the steering wheel. Don't move, car in park, follow all commands. You'll be able to go back home to your family. Because you know a lot of these officers be on edge. A lot of times they dealing with weirdo people. You don't know what's going on. But for whatever reason, she did what she did, and now she dead. And now everybody want to RIP. Everybody want justice for so-and-so. No, there's no justice for nothing, fam. There's no justice for nothing, man. We got to stop encouraging stupid stuff, bro. She wanted to die, bro. I don't care what nobody says. She wanted to die, bro. She did this out of protest, bro. She's one of them type of people who didn't care about life, and she did what she did because she wanted to become some sort of poster child for, oh, see what ICE did? See what they did? I tell you, man, we live in a time now where it's so easy to mislead people, bro. There's people out there that literally go out on crash out missions, trying their best to get unalive in the streets just to be used as the poster child. And that's what happened, man. That's what happened in this situation. You know? And people mad because they don't like the fact that ICE did it. It's really that the people that are upset, they don't like Trump. This is a political thing. This is not a regular shooting. This is a political thing, and that's what everybody's turning it into. They threw logic out the window. They threw common sense out the window. Let's just make it seem like this was a good old Christian woman who was just targeted. The lady was blocking ICE. Did anybody even research the story? Did anybody research the story, actually look at the facts, look at what's going on? Nobody looked at it? She was blocking them in, guys. Look at her vehicle. Y'all all seen the video. I don't need to play no videos. I ain't trying to get in no trouble with YouTube. But I'm pretty sure y'all all seen the videos. Y'all seen what went down. She had ample time to get out of there. She was using her vehicle to block. There was other people using their vehicles to block. There was other vehicles blocking ICE. There was other people doing the same thing, but they got in their car and they got out of there. She continued to stay there and be defiant. And at that point, they got upset and was like, look, enough is enough. Get out your vehicle. Get out your vehicle. Yeah, I know about that, the situation with the people that was stuck in the ice and all that, stuck in the snow and all that other stuff. But the point is, that woman was doing dirty stuff. And everybody's ignoring that stuff. They're making it seem as if though she was this good old person who just was targeted by ICE. Nobody's focusing on the truth. And you know how social media is. All you got to do is show some video footage and people jump on the bandwagon. You got a lot of influencers. They're talking a bunch of garbage just to get the clicks and the views to make some money. They really don't give a damn about the truth. All they care about is clicks and views. You know, nobody's looking at the facts. And nobody's doing any comparison to what would happen if you were a black man. Everyone that is black, whether you're a black woman, black man, you know the rules. You get pulled over by the police, law enforcement, undercover, whatever the case is. There's certain rules you follow if you want to make it back home alive. Now, if you want to reach around in your car while the officer's standing right there, you go ahead. When he pull out his gun and put a bullet in you, don't complain because you're reaching around in the car. He don't know what you're reaching for. He want to go back home to his family too. Have you ever thought about that? He don't know you from Adam. You could be reaching for a gun to kill him. There have been many stories of law enforcement pulling people over. Most of these officers that got unalive were good officers. They were cool officers. I've seen videos where you had officers that got out of their car. They were very courteous, kind, respectful. And the person that was in the car pulled out a gun and just unalived the officer, just like that. I'm like, No wonder these officers be on edge. You never know. You never know what you're going to get into. Anytime an officer do a traffic stop, that could be his last stop. And I'm pretty sure every officer knows that. Now, of course, these were ICE agents, and I'm using officers as an example. But you get what I'm saying. Every single time an officer makes a stop, a traffic stop, whatever stop, that could be their last stop. Because you don't even know what that other person have planned. You know? So it makes no sense to do this type of stuff. That woman felt she was above the law, man. The law applied to all of us, not just black folk. I'm tired of the double standards, bro. I'm tired of being a black man and I gotta now comply with this. I gotta put hands on steering wheels. I gotta do all of this stuff because I'm black. But a white woman, she could pretty much drive in front of law enforcement, drive in front of ICE agents and not think something's gonna happen? No. She found out real quick. And when it happened, all of a sudden the community is in outrage. What did you do? What happened? Why did you do that? In other words, she's white. Why would you do that? She put my life in danger? She put his life in danger. And it could happen to any of you. Has nothing to do with race. It has to do with being dumb. So we shouldn't be defending something that's dumb. When somebody's doing something that's out of pocket, you don't celebrate that and want to jump on the bandwagon. Y'all did the same thing with George Floyd. George Floyd was a criminal. Y'all held him up as a martyr. Y'all looked at him as some sort of hero in the black community. He was a piece of crap, bro. The dude was literally messing with underage girls in XXX films, bro. The man robbed homes, beat up women. And the black community held up George Floyd like he was some sort of superhero. Fuck George Floyd at the end of the day. And you could get mad and you can unsubscribe. I don't care. But you guys hold up a damn criminal as if though he represent the community. No, he don't. You know what I mean? That man was a criminal and did evil. You understand? And the black community held him up like some sort of hero because he's black. You didn't like the fact that he was killed. And you held him up like he's some sort of hero. So before anybody try to use that nonsense like I'm some sort of George Floyd supporter, I don't give a F about that dude. You know what I mean? He's a scumbag as far as I'm concerned. But when it comes to the situation with this white woman, everybody want to jump on the bandwagon feeling sorry for her when she didn't even follow the rules. She didn't even follow the rules and everybody's having all this selective outrage. You would not feel the same way if it was a black man. If it was a black man that got unalived like that, y'all wouldn't even care. Y'all would say, well, he should have complied. He should have followed the rules. Yeah, he was dumb. Why would you drive in front of a law enforcement? Why would you drive in front of an ICE agent of all people? Why would you do that? Telling you, man. Y'all think this is a game? This is serious business, man. And the white community is now learning the hard way. They're learning that you ain't above the law. You think you could just do what you want, say what you want, drive your car in front of agents and not think you ain't gonna get shot? No, you're gonna get shot, all right. You know? I'm just tired of the double standard. Every black man knows. Listen, every black man that get pulled over by law enforcement know how that feel when you get pulled over. You're like, especially when you know you didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. You just cruising at night. You get pulled over and you're like, oh, snap, bro. Damn, bro. All right, let me turn off my, low down your music. That's another thing. Stop having the damn trap music blasting and the police pull you over. Look at all the stuff we got to go through as black men. We got to turn our music down. Even though this is our car, we got to turn down the music because this is what they told us. This is what they taught us so we could avoid drama. And you had many black men that followed all of these rules and still got unalive. You had black men that followed all these rules, still got unalive because they didn't do it in the proper order. Or they reached for something. Officer didn't listen. Before you go into that glove compartment, bro, you let the officer know. I'm going to reach into my glove compartment to get my information. That's okay? Sure, go ahead. Okay, cool. But no, y'all be reaching for stuff. He ain't even asked you for stuff. What the hell you reaching for? And then you get shot. Now you complaining. You put this on yourself. I'm not reaching for nothing. Nothing. I seen too many stories. I heard about too many deaths. It's not happening to me. It's not happening to me, man. Everybody on social media is fake. All you content creators are fake, bro. All these content creators that are siding with this white woman are full of shit. They're fake because they know good and well that what she did caused her own death. They know this. But because most of the viewers may side with Hayden Ice, see, this is not about whether I support ICE or not. This is about common sense. You understand? Your vehicle is a weapon when someone is in front of it and you put it in drive. Why is the vehicle in motion when you know there's an agent in front of you? What were you trying to do? Scare him? You got exactly what you had coming. You can't cry about that. You can't cry about it, man. You got to own it, man. Her family got to look at the situation and be like, you know what? What she did was dumb. What she did was dumb, fam. And it's just sick. Absolutely sick, fam. Absolutely sick, bro. You don't use your vehicle as a weapon. And now y'all want the ICE agent to feel bad now. You don't think he feels some type of way? Listen, when law enforcement, whether it's agents, ICE agents, whether it's regular police, when they pull that trigger and somebody get killed, and I'm talking about when it's in self-defense or whatever the case is, you think that officer goes home feeling good about himself? Of course not. That stuff bothers them too, because it's like, damn, somebody just lost their life. So I'm pretty sure that the officer probably feel effed up about what happened. Y'all making it seem like he happy he did that stuff. A lot of times y'all be bugging, bro. Nobody feels happy about pulling the trigger on somebody. People be putting themselves in situations you have no choice but to do what you got to do. You know? You have no choice, man. I just don't like the double standard. I don't like the selective outrage, the fake outrage, how everybody's acting like they know the woman. And y'all don't even know the story. Go look up the story, for real. Go look up the story. This woman was harassing them, bro. People don't got no time for that. This woman was literally harassing them. These people trying to do their job. Just let them do their job and stay out of the damn way. A lot of times, and I'm gonna say this, man, and this goes out to white folk, bro. A lot of times y'all be doing some dumb shit, bro. Because you're white, you figure, well, I'm gonna go out there and start protesting, doing goofy stuff, thinking you good. And then you end up like this, dead. See, black folk, we know this shit don't have nothing to do with us. We already know that. So we just stay out of the damn way. But y'all be getting in the way and you don't even know what's going on. And you want to protest, you getting involved in things, putting yourself into these things. And then you end up getting shot. You ain't gonna see no black folk out doing no damn protesting, doing none of that goofy stuff. We don't got no time for that. They ain't coming for me. I'm good. And if you white, why would they be coming for you? So what are you getting involved in this for? This thing is political, man. People be sacrificing themselves. They got crash out dummies out here, bro, that literally don't care about life. They want the agents to unalive them. That's the way I see it. They want these people to get shot, bro. Because I looked at the video from multiple angles. I got all the angles. I've been had the info, you know what I'm saying? I'm not putting it out there, putting it on the screen and stuff. You know, you have people showing footage. You don't need to show no footage because you get in trouble with YouTube. You already seen the footage. All you got to do is just look around. But I seen the footage. I looked at it. And based on what I'm seeing, the agents they were in right to do what they had to do. Now, some of y'all may say, well, he didn't have to do this. He didn't have to do that. Well, that says your life wasn't in danger. You don't know what that agent felt seeing that car in front of him moving. Do you know the pain of what it feels like to get run over by a car? The pain that you're going to endure? He said, I'm not trying to feel that. You know, I'm not trying to feel that. And we don't even know what else transpired besides that. All we know is what the video shows. We don't have all the information of what was said, if there was something pointed at the officer, if there was something else that went down. We don't know. And I'm not saying that there is or isn't. My point is there's a lot of key information that we just don't know. But based on that video, based on what I saw, that officer was justified to use deadly force. He was. You know? Yeah, he was in a kill or be killed situation. There you go, because it could have went either way. It could have went either way, man. Like I said, man, when you're in front of a vehicle and it is moving, at that point, you fear for your life because he pulled out that gun so fast. That was a fast draw. He pulled out that gun quick. And he ended that situation right away. His training kicked in. That was training right there. That was not, listen, that was training that kicked in. You see? That was his training, his instincts. He pulled out that gun so quick, ended that situation so fast. I was like, damn, he wasn't playing. He's not the one to fuck with, bro. I'm just being real, bro. That dude is not the dude to mess with right there. That dude be at the range. That dude be practicing. That dude is not playing. That's why they hired him to do the job. Real talk. If you want to make it back home to your family, stop being stupid, man. Stop trying to battle these agents. What are you doing? Stop trying to it's difficult trying to convince humans of common sense. A lot of people lack common sense, bro. You know? It's wild, man. Let me see. Somebody says since he got dragged by a vehicle months ago and had to have 30 stitches in his leg, he shouldn't have gotten in front of that car. I don't want to hear that he shouldn't have gotten in front of the car. I don't want to hear that, right? I was with you from the beginning, but that part about he shouldn't have gotten in front of the car, I don't want to hear that. That's not the proper procedure for neutralizing a threat. How do you know that? Are you an ICE agent? One thing I don't like is when people that are not in that field of work try to say what is the proper procedure. Now, if you are law enforcement, then maybe you have the authority to speak on that issue. So in that situation, then yeah. But at the same time, you're not the one that's investigating whatever they're doing. So him being in front of the vehicle or not, it's like, I don't know why he's in front of the vehicle. There's many times officers get in front of vehicles. Matter of fact, when an officer or agent get in front of a vehicle, that is a clear sign to tell you in the driver's seat not to drive that damn car. And if you proceed to drive it, you are putting yourself in danger. Doesn't matter if the officer's in danger. It's a chess move, guys. When an officer or an agent get in front of a vehicle, that is designed to tell you, you better not drive off. You drive off, your life ends today. Period. She chose to drive. Case closed. That's her problem. I don't care. You know, you could say it's stupid to get in front of the vehicle. You could say that all day. But as an officer or an agent, you're not anticipating the person driving off in the first place. You're not. It's no different than when a cop do a traffic stop. They're not in anticipation that the driver is going to speed off. How many times have you seen car chases? How many times have you seen police chases where a police literally will pull somebody over for an expired tag or whatever the case is, and the car flees while the officer was literally at the window putting the officer in danger? The officer's not expecting that. So no matter how you put it, people are unpredictable. You know? Serious, your life ends today. If I'm in front of that car, my gun gonna be out. We telling you to get out that damn car. You drive into me, I'm taking you out. Period. I don't care how anybody feel. I'm tired of all this emotional, selective outrage. Everybody's having all this morals and values now. Let's focus on what's real. If it was a black man, nobody would care. If it was a black man, we would say he should have complied. He should have got out the vehicle. He should have never put the car in drive. He should have never did that if he was a black man. But because it's a white woman, all of a sudden now, selective outrage, everybody's feeling sorry for her. Oh my goodness, there was a white woman. Oh my goodness, guys, we got to cry. We got to feel something. We got to be emotional. We got to start to cry. How many times have that been done for us black men? How many times have black men been killed by law enforcement? How many fucking times have we been unalived? How many times? I don't recall anybody coming to our rescue. I don't recall anybody feeling sorry for us. I don't recall any governor or mayor speaking on behalf of the victim. I haven't heard nothing. Do you understand? All I heard is that we were in the wrong and that we should have complied. That's all I keep hearing. Remember when Dave Chappelle did that comedy skit about how to survive a traffic stop? Was it Dave Chappelle? I'm not sure which comedian it was, but it was a comedian that did a skit on how to survive being pulled over by the police. And it's so crazy that we actually follow these rules, bro, in order to make it back home. And what's so crazy about this story is, you see like how I'm making this video? People will be mad at me because I'm not siding with the woman. In other words, I'm supposed to be anti-ICE, not looking at the situation with an unbiased approach and using logic to find out what really happened. They'll just get mad at me because what they want is for me to be against ICE so it could go along with their political agenda. That's what this is all about. It's a political agenda. That woman sacrificed herself, man. I don't care what nobody says. She wanted to die, bro. Because when the video started, and notice they always have the video, it's always a short clip. They never show you from the beginning. They never show you the full video from the beginning when everything started happening. They always want to show you a little clip. And the little clip make it look one way. But I looked at the clip and I started using logic and what makes sense. That woman was already there. Her car position clearly showed she was blocking somebody in. Her car position clearly showed that she was doing something goofy. And before the agents got there, she had ample time to leave. She was doing something bad. And then when they told her to leave, when they told her to get out the car, that's when she tried to flee while the agent was in front of the vehicle. Some people like, he wasn't in front of the vehicle. She didn't really want to hit him. Bro, y'all can't, listen, you cannot speak for somebody else that you don't know. You can't speak for a woman that you don't know. You don't know what was going on in her mind. She probably wanted to kill him. She was literally crashing out. First of all of these agents have guns. Those guns are on them so they can kill, so they can shoot. So if you're in your vehicle, you need to be very careful. First of all, these are not regular officers, right? These are not regular officers. These are agents. So you're playing by a different set of rules. You're in your vehicle, comply. Get out the vehicle, find out what's going on. If they detain you, if you get arrested, whatever the case is, if they violate your rights, you go to court, you sue, you do what you got to do. That's simple. But to use your car as a weapon, no. We got to take you out at that point. It's unfortunate. It's kind of graphic. At the same time, you're not the one standing in front of that vehicle. You're not the one whose life was in danger. You're not the one. So you can't really speak on something when your life is not in danger. If your life was in danger, you do the same thing. You ain't going to sit there and say, well, I wouldn't shoot. I wouldn't do this. Nah, I'm taking her out, bro. I'm taking her out, bro. You're not going home to your family today. Call me what you want to. I just don't like the fact that everybody's trying to make the agent out to be a bad guy now. You know? Because you could clearly see on his face when he was walking by, he just unalived somebody. So obviously he don't feel good about that. It's never a good feeling to just unalive somebody like that, but he had to do what he had to do. It's just that simple. you know? Oh, you out because you disagree? Yeah. Nice try, but no cigar. And that's my point. If you agree, you'll be here. If I was pro white woman, now watch this, guys. He's out because he disagreed. But if I was pro woman, he'll be here cheering me on. Yo, Ringo, man, good video. That's why I keep telling you, a lot of times people are full of shit, bro. They're fake. Selective outrage, bro. If I'm here singing the praises of the woman, calling for the justice of the woman, that person will be sending super chats. That person would remain in the live. That person will be subscribed. That person will be celebrating everything that I do. That's what I mean about social media. If you're not a part of the get along gang, you'll be hated by them. So I don't really care if you leave. I don't care. You're not a viewer of mine anyway. But at the end of the day, my job is not here to be liked. My job is to do this work and spread this truth in regards to following the rules, complying with lawful orders, and not putting yourself in danger. That woman put herself in danger. Now she dead. And it is what it is. If it was a black man, none of y'all would care. The white community would not be coming out in full force in support of that black man if he got unalive like that. The white community wouldn't even care about that. Asian community wouldn't care. No community would care. This is why it pisses me off when black folks stick their nose in something that have nothing to do with them and they having all this selective outrage when they know good and well that if it was us, nobody would care. Nobody. They would say why we didn't comply. Even white people would say, well, if the black man would have complied, that would have never happened. Okay, same applies to the white woman. If she would have complied, that would have never happened. Keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. Let's stop being hypocrites. Keep the same energy. Don't sugarcoat nothing. None of y'all know that woman. All you know is that she was shot. And because it was ICE, you figure it's a good opportunity to express your hate because you always hated ICE. That's why you're upset. Those are the facts, man. Well, this person says, I'm still in the chat. However, if I don't like seeing innocent persons killed, also, I can recognize the fact that she should have complied with ICE officers. At least she'll still be here. Well, if she complies, she'll still be here. That's the whole point. Why can't nobody just understand that? I understand some people are emotional about situations like this, but listen, I can understand women being emotional over this stuff, but you men, whether you white, black, whatever the case is, y'all got to think logical and not be emotional concerning this situation. Y'all got to be logical about the whole thing because when you think about it, everybody can agree that if she would have been complying, she would still be here. Because I looked at the situation, I'm like, wow, if she would have just complied, she would be here. So obviously she did something stupid. She did something dumb. Why can't the majority of people agree that she did something stupid? Why everybody's sugarcoating the situation? Why everybody's giving her a pass and saying, you know, that's messed up what they did to her, man. I can't believe they did that to that woman. If it was a black man, we would have been held to all sorts of standards. Oh, you need to obey lawful commands. You should have never moved. You should have never been reaching around in your car. You should have never drove off. I've seen so many officers get run over by cars. So many officers get run over. It's crazy how often this happens. And these people are crash out dummies. They have people that literally crash out when they're in their car and they run over people. I'm going to do a video about a guy. Some of y'all probably seen the video of a dude that was, he was stuck in traffic. Y'all had to see the video. It went viral. He got arrested. He was stuck in traffic. There was somebody blocked the road and he took his truck and went through the barricade and literally almost ran over people. Officers was chasing him down. He eventually got away from the officers He got away, but they end up arresting him later on. Oh, you seen that video, right? Tell me, wasn't that a crash out right there? That dude lost his mind, bro. That dude lost his brain cells, bro. The stuff that he did with that truck, it's like, in a way, when he crashed out, now you got to listen to me carefully because I'm not defending him, but I felt bad for this dude, bro. I felt bad for him because he crashed out. I understand his frustration with the traffic. We all been in traffic. You're blocked up. You got somewhere to go. You're pissed. But this dude crashed out, ran through the barricade, almost ran over women and kids, fleeing through traffic. Cops chasing him. He going crazy. At that moment, I was like, I could read his mind. He was like, damn, man, I effed up, bro. I know I'm going to jail. I know I'm going to jail. And I'm like, damn, bro, you going to jail for real. Seriously. You going to jail, bro. Let me see. Somebody said, retired trooper, and it's always our fault, laughing out loud. Well, yeah, wait, hey, I understand the joke. I understand it. But like I said, I've seen many officers in videos. Now, here's the thing. In New York, I'm not too fond of law enforcement in New York. They're on a different frequency. Here in North Carolina, officers are a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can actually have conversations with officers. They seem, I mean, they're still officers. You know what I'm saying? They'll kick ass if they need to. But at the same time, they're a little more calm, cool, collected. You can actually have conversations with them. They're not like assholes like in New York. But I've seen videos where you had officers that stopped people on regular, basic traffic stops. And dudes pull out guns and shoot the officer down for no reason. No reason. The officer didn't do nothing. Dude just got out the car and unalived the cop. So you wondering why these officers be on edge, bro? You wondering why they on edge? With all the goofy stuff going on? Man, y'all crazy, bro. Shout out to, is that Kahu? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right. Shout out to you for the $5 support. Says, this has turned to a weird situation. Watch the full video. She was clearly trying to hit the ICE officer, the ICE agent, because she is a gay. She gets praised. Well, I don't know what her sexuality is. I just don't understand how everybody's siding with her and protesting when clearly she's in the wrong, you know? And like I said, I looked at the video. I could tell the agent felt bad. I could see it on his countenance, on his face. He was a little shooken up about it, but, you know, had to do what he had to do. Even the other agents, they were kind of shocked and surprised. They didn't expect that to happen, but it happened. You know, it is what it is, man. If people learn how to just do what they need to do, man, they won't get in no trouble, bro. They won't get in no trouble. I just look at it as she crashed out. She crashed out, felt that she could get away with it, and it is what it is. I was hearing something about some lover or something. Somebody was right there. It was weird. It was a weird, I looked at a couple of videos and it didn't make sense. How that person is in the car, but the person that they're with is outside the car. It looks weird. It was kind of, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm just here to add balance to the story because a lot of YouTubers are fake and everybody's having all the selective outrage and I don't like it. You know? I don't like the double standards, selective outrage, all of that mess. Yeah, somebody said, who's this? Says, you right, they are out there playing with ICE like it's a joke. Her car was blocking and she playing in their face. And this is the things that I'm trying to show you guys, man. Go back and look at the story, guys. Those of you who don't know the story, you got to go back and you got to look at what happen. Don't get emotional. Don't just look at it from YouTubers' sport point of view. A lot of these YouTubers, they just want to make money. They don't care about the truth or the lie. Their job is just to ban whatever side they think could get them the most views. So if they realize that the general public is in outrage over what's going on, they'll do their video in support of the woman because why? They'll gain subscribers, they'll gain ad revenue, they'll make money. But at the end of the day, most of these YouTubers don't give two fucks about that woman. They don't care if she live or die. What they care about is the clicks and the views to make the money. Here at Ringo TV, we're fair and balanced. We look at everything from a logical point of view. If you want to unsubscribe, I don't give a fuck what you do. Unsubscribe and leave. Whether I make money on the video through ads, I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, I'm going to speak the truth. That's my position. Because I'm tired of the double standards and the lies. I'm going to do what's right because it's right. As black men, we were told to follow the rules. We were told not to do nothing stupid if we want to get home to our families. The same supposed to apply to white folk too. You know? I don't know what she was, if she was a granny, if she was young. I don't know. I don't care about none of that stuff. All I'm saying is why the rules don't apply. You even had white people coming out in defense of the agent. You had white people that came out and said she did not comply. She did not comply. One thing I don't like, listen, I don't like when something happened to white people, the majority of blacks jump on board defending the white woman. But if it was a black man, the black community wouldn't even care. They wouldn't even care. They'll be like, well, he should have never reached for his glove compartment. He should have never drove off. He should have complied with the officer. Okay, so that don't apply to her. Just because you white doesn't mean you can just do what you want to do, especially if you're a white woman. I don't know her age. I don't know. Yeah. Let me see. Somebody says, I'm white. I'm a white man. And I even say she should have stopped. I never act like that when I was pulled over. And that's what I'm saying. At least you could speak the truth. A lot of people are not focused on the truth. If I know the ICE agents are there and they pull out guns, they stop, get out the car. Listen, I got cameras on the car. Go ahead and do what y'all got to do. It is what it is. I'm trying to get home. I don't want no issues. I ain't reaching for nothing. Cool. They finish, wrap up whatever they got to do. They find that I'm not really an issue. All right, I can go. Cool, I'm out. That's it. I'm trying to get home. I ain't with all that goofy stuff. Cop pulled me over. Woo! Something wrong with my tag, whatever the case is. Tint. Hands on the steering wheel, car off, in park, keys over there. I'm good. Window roll down. Music is low. He come by? Yeah, well, I stopped. You was going a little bit over the speed limit. You was going about 20 miles per hour fast. Yeah, I was, foot a little heavy on the gas, Okay, I'm gonna let you off with a little warning. You drive safe. That's it, I'm going home. But no, some of you will be like, yo, officer, why you stop me for? You were speeding. You ain't have to stop me. I mean, come on, man. Yo, let me go in my glove compartment. What are you reaching for? I'm not reaching. Pow! Now you dead. All that noise, you ain't even listening to what the officer had to say. You have some cool officers, you could be speeding. You wrong. You in the wrong. He have a right to give you a ticket. But because of the stop and the way you communicate it, he be like, I'm gonna give you a warning. All right? Just keep the speed, just do what you gotta do. Hey, I appreciate that, officer. Really appreciate that. You have a good night. You too. Drive safe. And you out. You know how many times officers give people breaks? It's all about the way you communicate. But when you're an asshole, you escalate a situation to where it don't even need to go, man. I've learned, listen, I'm the type of person back in the days I get heated quick. But when it comes to communicating, I know how to just be cool now. I know how to be cool now because officers deal with a lot of shit. They deal with a lot of stuff, bro. They human too. Just like you. Just like you get aggravated. Just like people piss you off. You got some officers that deal with this ish every day, bro. Every single day, bro. They deal with people that don't respect them, people that treat them like trash, and they still got to be kind, courteous, professional, and all that other stuff. And they should. They should do that. But what I'm saying is when you're that person that when they pull you over and you just comply and just make this process simple, you would be surprised how you'll get out of a ticket and you were wrong, but the officer gave you a break. Have you ever gotten a break? Have an officer ever let you go when you were wrong? You could have got in trouble, but he gave you a pass. It's because of the way you were communicating. It's because of the way you were communicating. And I learned showing respect, being calm, cool, collected goes a long way. If that woman would have just said, you know what? Let me stop the car. Okay, all right, I'm stepping out. I don't want no issues. I'm complying. Hands up. She would still be here. She would still be here. I don't know why everybody's turning this into a political thing, because that's what it is. And the elected officials, they're focused on politics right now. They're not really outraged over what happened. They're just using it as an opportunity to create some sort of drama. And I don't like it. I really don't like it. So I'm not trying to turn this into no black-white thing. I'm a black man, and I'm speaking from a black's perspective on this situation. As a black man growing up, even from a teenage years, we've always been taught. You get pulled over by the cops, hands on the steering wheel, car in park, music low, roll your window down, do all of this fancy shit in order to stay alive. And we were branded with that mess. And for whatever reason, anytime anyone else get pulled over, the rules don't apply to them. The rules don't apply for them. Now, I'm sure there's white folk that when they get pulled over by the officers, by cops, whatever, they comply and they do what they got to do too. But you got some a-holes that want to go toe-to-toe with the officer like, bro, just get it over with and get back on the road, man. It's like some people just want to die, bro. That's the way I see it. Some people just want to die, man. They want somebody to argue with or something. I don't want to argue with no cop, bro. I don't got no time. I don't want to argue with no law enforcement, bro. I try to be as respectful as I can. You know what I'm saying? Not like I'm kissing anybody's ass. At the same time, I know that they deal with a lot of BS. I know they gotta be on edge. If I'm an officer, I'm gonna be on edge. I don't trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do my job, but at the end of the day, I don't know what you're up to. I don't know what's going through your mind. So you got to understand that. But if you carry yourself as a respectful citizen and you're doing what's right, I'm doing what's right, we could get this encounter out of the way. You go your way, I go my way, we good. But if you start getting this thing crazy, start being aggressive, reaching for stuff, acting a fool, cussing me out, bro, there's something you hiding, there's something's going on, and that's why situations get escalated in these traffic stops and these different things. That's why. But that woman's situation was not a traffic stop. She was harassing the agents. She was in their way. She was being an idiot. And ain't no telling what she was saying verbally too. Ain't no telling what she was saying. And I would like to see more of the video before everything happened. They always want to give you a little clip. Where's all the video footage? I want to see all the footage to see what she was doing the whole time. I guarantee you whatever she was doing was bad. You know? But that's about it, guys. I'm going to get up on out of here. I just wanted to share my thoughts about the situation, and hopefully people will use logic and common sense to judge the situation. She could have been alive if she would have complied, do what she needed to do. She would still be here. Now we're going to hear about this story the rest of the week. Now we're going to hear about the story for the rest of the week. And everybody's talking about it now. But what I don't like is a lot of these social media people, they're fake. They're fake, bro. They jump on any little story. And I realize with social media, man, they side with whatever they feel the viewer is in support of. So if the content creator believe that you viewers are on the side of the woman, when they go live or they talk about a situation, their conversation will be in favor of the woman in hopes that you subscribe to their channel. They end up making money. They get the clicks, the views. But if the truth be told, they don't even care about that woman or the story. It's just an opportunity to make some money. When I do my videos, I'm serious about the content. I don't care if you like or dislike what I'm saying. I'm looking at it from a logical point of view. I'm not here to side with the woman. I'm here to look at the facts of what's going on. And based on what I seen in that video, it happened very fast, but it could have been prevented. She escalated that situation and made it worse. She made it worse. And she, all of a sudden now, she want to flee when it got real. But when she was blocking them and they were telling her to get out of there, for some reason, she didn't want to go. She wanted to be wrong and strong and use her car to block people in. That's what she was doing. So to all the people that's defending her, all the people that's crying, go back and watch the videos, look at the news reports, check out the witness testimonies. Some witnesses are just lying, saying she didn't pose no threat and she didn't do this. They're going to say that because that's what they're paid to say. You know? Let me see. Yeah, the car was a weapon. That's right. She thought she was above the law. Now she's 6 feet under the law. Yeah. She thought she was above the law. She got what she was looking for. Why can't people just agree and just look at the facts and say, you know what? I get it. But because she's white, you know, you have a lot of people that's more outraged, like I said, because nobody would expect that to happen to a white woman. So, you know, listen, a lot of times you think because somebody's white that they agree with all white people. This is another misconception with black folk. Y'all be thinking that because you black and somebody's white, that as a white man or a white woman, they all agree with all white people. No, they don't. No, they don't. I see white people out in North Carolina arguing with each other all the time. I see white men in North Carolina pull out guns on the road at other white men on the road. They don't all agree, bro. They don't all agree. You got different groups of white people, bro. They not the same, bro. They not. I seen it firsthand because, you know, I'm originally from New York. I've been in North Carolina about 2 years, and I'm seeing things that I was not exposed to. I'm literally seeing dudes arguing in the street, white guys pulling guns, and, you know, you got rednecks over here, you got this white group over here, and they going back and forth with guns. And I'm like, you had some white dude, he was robbing some stuff at the Food Lion. I'm like, what? He ran out, and you saw the cops, they come up, they grabbed him up. I'm like, yo, I never seen stuff like this before, man. And the white people was like, there you go, get him, he's in his car. I was like, what? They pointing out the white man? I thought that was your people. Nah, bro, it ain't like that, bro. If they see criminals, they going after you whether you white or black. It doesn't matter. Whether you white or black, if you a thief, they coming for you. Yeah, that's right, man. I remember one time I saw some road rage. You had some white dude. Clearly the white dude is not from North Carolina. Clearly he's not. His plates wasn't even North Carolina plates. He ran up on a pickup truck. By the pickup truck, based on me being out here, I already know in that truck, there's some rednecks in the truck. The white guy proceeded to honk his horn, doing some crazy stuff. He came out his car, walked up to their car. They pulled guns out the window. The other white guy came out of his car, out of the side of the car. He had a shotgun in his hand. Told him to get back in his damn car. You don't want no problems. First of all, he could have got shot. The dude could have got shot. You come out your car and you going up to that man's window, he could have put a bullet in you. But he didn't. He just pulled his gun. And by his accent, I already know he's a redneck. I already know. They have rednecks out here. They have rednecks all over North Carolina. So there's different types of white people in North Carolina. They're not the same, bro. They're not the same. Learn that if you're a black man. Because a lot of times, you know, a lot of black folk think, oh, if somebody's white, they're a punk, they're soft. No. There's different people in different groups that will kick ass. They're not playing. They're not playing. Matter of fact, the rednecks got all the guns. They're ready for war. They're ready to shoot. You got to understand that, fam. I'm serious when I tell you this, bro. They got all the guns. They at the range. They outside in the woods target practicing every single day. I'm telling you, bro, I'm literally exposed to stuff I never seen before. And I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, oh, okay. All right, so I'm getting a hang of this thing now. I'm like, all right. You know, law enforcement is different in North Carolina. You know, the hoods in North Carolina is different. Not all white folk is rich. That's another misconception in the black community. I think because somebody's white, they're rich. No, you got poor white folk, just like you got poor black folk. You got rich white folk, poor white folk. Same thing. I see it firsthand. You got white homeless people in North Carolina. And guess what? Here's the shocking truth. You have white homeless people in North Carolina, and guess what white folk do? They don't even care. What? They don't even care, bro. I couldn't believe it. You got white folk on the street, they driving by, white folk just keep going. I'm like, they ain't gonna get them $1? Nope. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But it's a whole nother world out here, bro. A whole nother world. Every state is different. You just gotta adapt and see how the community is, see how the people move, and just get accustomed to the way things are. So when it comes to the situation with that lady, man, I don't like the fact that people are focusing on the fact that she's a white woman, and it's like they feel sorry for the situation. You know, it doesn't even make no sense. You know, every time I go live, you have some dumb troll come in the building, wasting their time. That's why I keep telling you, in the world we live in, there's demons that are in people. These demons, like, they come to my platform every single day. Like, these people are literally obsessed with me. I'm that great. They come here every day just to waste their time. And that's why I keep saying there's weirdos everywhere, guys. Weirdo people everywhere. They're sick mentally. Like, mentally, they're sick. You know what I'm saying? They just come over here. They do the same thing every single day. But we're going to get up on out of here, guys. I got to do some work in the studio. I was supposed to do a live in the studio, but I want to readjust a camera in my studio. I want to do something a little different to kind of put a camera in a different position in the studio so that it can, like, film the videos in a different way. So y'all be safe out there. Check out my 2 uploads that I made earlier, and it is what it is. Yeah, those are spam bots. Somebody paid like a service, like on AI, to come to my platform and keep posting the same garbage and do stupid stuff. That's all that is. Anyway, guys, shout out to Show in the building. Peace and blessings to all the mods in the chat. I'm gonna get up on out of here. I gotta go take care of some business. Y'all be safe. Leave some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the video. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know what state you from. You know what I'm saying? Where you at? I want to know where all my viewers are from. Like, where the majority of the people are that rock with the platform. You know what I mean? Which state represent Ringo TV the most? That's what I really want to know. So let me know where you guys are streaming. Streaming. Where you guys are viewing the stream from. That way I know where my audience is from, fam. So I can shout out what states rock with the platform the most. You know what I'm saying? I think it was New York, the last I checked, but you never know. But peace and blessings, because I know New York rock heavy with Ringo TV. You know what I mean? So we're going to get up on out of here, guys. Again, rate, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the platform. We'll be back with more content and whatnot. If I find out some more information about the story, I'll go live again, give you an update. But let's not have these double standards. Let's not turn this thing into a race issue. We just got to comply, fam. Whether you white or black, we just got to comply. It is what it is. And it's all about just being respectful to law enforcement as much as you can. It's not about you kissing somebody's ass. It's about you just being respectful as a human being. If law enforcement is there and they're doing their job, just cooperate. Just cooperate, man. It's not about you giving up your civil liberties and, being a slave and, all that. I'm not with all that goofy stuff, man. I'm all about energy. If you give out positive energy, you get back positive energy. That's the way it works. You pulled over by law enforcement, whatever the case is, as long as you're positive, positivity come back. That's the law. That's a principle, man. That's all you got to do. Yeah, but what if it's a white racist officer? Even if the officer is racist and he's white or whatever, if you come at the officer with respect, courtesy, kindness, I don't care if he's having a bad day. He's not going to cross no lines, bro. It's impossible. You did the right thing. You showed respect. That's it. That's all it's about, man. Yeah, but you got some officers, they be doing goofy stuff. I get it. I know there's officers that do goofy stuff. What I'm saying is, do you want to live or die? Do you want to die? Which one? Be respectful, bro. That's all I'm saying. I know there's times when you know you're right and an officer may have it wrong. Just comply. If there's an issue, go to court. If there's an issue, go to court. Get it on your dash cam. Have cameras in your car. And then you fight it out and win. That way you could go home. That's the goal. I ain't trying to go to a casket. I'm not trying to go to the morgue. I'm trying to go home. Which location you want to go to, the morgue or your home? And it's not even about being scared. That's not what it's about. It's about being respectful. We've seen these stories too many times, man. We're supposed to know better by now. It's not like every officer out there want to kill you or every agent want to kill you. People do stupid things. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace and blessings. We out of here.